Good morning, everyone. I am Zhong, a PhD student from Stevens Institute of Technology at New Jersey, United States. I'm going to present our paper titled Disparate Privacy Leakage of Membership Inference Tag Against Graph Neural Networks. This is a joint work by Zhong from Stevens Institute of Technology, Ruotong Yu from University of Utah, Kun Wu and Xiulin Wang from Stevens Institute of Technology, Professor Jun Xu from University of Utah, and Professor Wendy Hui Wang from the Stevens Institute of Technology. As we know, the prior research has shown that graph neural networks is vulnerable to membership inference attack. So in this project, we focus on the link level membership inference attack, or we call it LMIA. So LMIA is a black box attack. It accepts the target model output, which is posterior probability of node classification as input. LMIA aims to infer if there exists a link between a pair of nodes in the training graph of the target gene model. The recent studies have shown that LMIA can recover a large amount of edges from the training graph. Well, these studies mainly focus on the privacy leakage in the entire graph. So the privacy leakage is if the privacy leakage is evenly distributed across the links that connect different types of nodes, remain largely unexplored. Such disparity is important as the link level disparity can lead to node level disparity. For example, if the social connections between LGBT users are easier to be attacked, they will suffer from higher privacy threats than the non-LGBT users. Thus, in this paper, we aim to investigate the disparate vulnerability of GNN against LMIA to see whether the links between the users in some specific demographic groups are more vulnerable. In particular, we aim to answer the following three research questions. The first, does the disparity in subgroup vulnerability exist for the representative gene models? Second, does any graph structural property cause the vulnerability disparity? Second, how to mitigate this disparity and how to provide fair privacy protection against LMIA across all the subgroups. To answer these three questions, we present the first study of disparity in subgroup vulnerability. We call it DSV of GNN models. And we make following contributions. First, we demonstrate the existence of non-negligible DSV for two representative GNN models. Then we identify the causal effect of three types of graph structural properties on DSV. Third, we design a fair defense, a new defense mechanism that not only defends against MIA, but also mitigates DSV. My talk will follow this roadmap. First, I will demonstrate the existence of DSV. Then I will explain the reasons behind DSV. Finally, I will present how to mitigate such disparity. Let's start from the existence. Before that, let me introduce some important concepts. We consider that nodes are associated with protected node features, such as gender. Based on the protected node feature values, the nodes can be grouped into subgroups, such as male and female groups. Based on the node subgroup, the links can be grouped in by the protected node feature. For example, they can be grouped into male-male group, female-female group, or male-female group. Now we are ready to present the measurement of DSV. First, for each subgroup, we measure its privacy vulnerability as the attack accuracy of LMIA. We consider two different metrics for the attack accuracy, balanced attack accuracy and F1 score. Based on the subgroup vulnerability, we measure the DSV as the absolute difference between the privacy vulnerability of two subgroups. Then we measure the DSV of the graph G as the average DSV of all the subgroup pairs. In this paper, we mainly use empirical evaluation to show the existence of DSV. We ran experiments on 3 real-world social network graphs and 2 representative gene models. We used the implementation of LMIA from paper 1 to launch the attack. We consider gender as protected node feature and sort the 3 link subgroups by the density in ascending order. We present the result of the attack accuracy of subgroups and the DSV for spammer datasets. The first main finding is that DSV exists for all the settings. Take GAT setting, for example. The attack accuracy can reach 0.79 on G0, but only 0.58 on G2. In this setting, the DSV between G0 and G2 is as high as 0.2, while the DSV of the whole graph is close to 0.14. Our second finding is that some subgroups are always more vulnerable than the others, regardless of the evaluation, attack type, and the gene type. For example, the subgroup G0 with the lowest density always has the highest attack performance. But this implies that the graph structure plays an important role in the existence of DSV. Next, we look into the main reasons for the DSV. In particular, how different graph structural properties affect the subgroup vulnerability. In this project, we studied 4 graph structural properties, namely graph size, graph density, average edge between centrality, and average node similarity. These properties are popularly considered for the research of fairness in graph learning. From our empirical study, we observed there is no correlation between group size and subgroup vulnerability. Thus, we mainly focus on the graph density, AEBC, and ANS in this paper. From our empirical study, we observed that 3 graph structural properties affect subgroup vulnerability. First, there exists a strong Pearson correlation between each graph property and subgroup vulnerability. In particular, graph density and AEBC are negatively correlated with vulnerability, while ANS is positively correlated. Second, the graph properties have causal effect on subgroup vulnerability. In particular, the difference between graph density of subgroups has the largest causal effect. With the previous analysis, let's move to the mitigation of DSV. Based on the previous findings, we designed a new mitigation method named fire defense that can provide fair protection against LMIA. The key idea of fair defense is to flatten the density of all subgroups along the training of target model. We do not perturb the graph in one shot to reduce the accuracy loss of the target model. Fair defense works as follows. At each iteration of the training process, each node pair will be randomized as either a member or non-member. The probability is determined by the number of members, the number of non-members, and the privacy parameter gamma. Intuitively, higher gamma will lead to lower P1 and P2, which means lower perturbation and less defense against LMIA. Next, we present our empirical evaluation of fair defense. We measure both defense effectiveness and DSV mitigation effect. For comparison, we consider 4 baseline defense methods, including 2 differential privacy-based methods and 2 perturbation-based methods. We first present the attack accuracy and DSV results for spammer dataset. First, fair defense can reduce the attack accuracy significantly. Take GAT, for example. The accuracy dropped from 0.69 to 0.49. Second, fair defense can mitigate DSV effectively. For example, fair defense reduced DSV from 0.14 to 0.04 for GAT model. In addition, fair defense outperforms the baseline methods in both defense effect and DSV mitigation because the fair defense achieves lower attack accuracy and lower DSV. Privacy outcomes at the cost of reducing target model accuracy. To visualize such trade-off, we generate the attack utility curve by drawing the points that present pairs of attack accuracy and target model accuracy. We vary the privacy parameters of the defense methods to generate the pairs. Intuitively, the defense methods that has lower attack accuracy when they have aligned target model accuracy with the others should have the better trade-off. We observe that the fair defense outperforms the baselines in the trade-off. Fair defense achieves lower attack accuracy under the similar target model accuracy, and it delivers higher target model accuracy when they have the same attack accuracy. Besides the trade-off between defense and utility, we also keep an eye on the trade-off between DSV mitigation and the utility. To visualize the trade-off, we generate a DSV utility curve with the points denoting pairs of DSV and the target model accuracy. We observe that the fair defense better addresses the trade-off between DSV and the target model accuracy than the baselines. Fair defense has a lower DSV with the same target model accuracy, and it achieves higher target model performance when they deliver same DSV. To conclude the talk, in this paper, we investigate the disparate effect of LMIA on different linked subgroups when attacking GNs. First, we demonstrate the existence of DSV for 2 GN models. Then we identify the causal effect of 3 types of graph structural properties on DSV. Finally, we design fire defense, a new defense mechanism that not only defends against MIA, but also mitigates DSV. Here are the papers we cited in this talk, and thank you again for joining this presentation with me. Please feel free to ask questions or reach out to either me or Professor Wendy Hui Wang. Thank you again. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Da, for the nice talk. I don't have any questions yet on the Zulip, so I'll take my advantage and ask myself. Could you give us maybe an intuitive description of why the attack works? Because we saw this very nice kind of math, and it's very clear that it works. But if you could give us kind of an intuitive understanding of why it works.
Okay. Although this is not from our work, and it is proposed by another paper, but I can explain using this this graph. The basic idea is that the authors of this paper found that when 2 nodes are connected in a GNN model when it is trained, the posterior probability of these 2 nodes, let's say U and V, they will be closer. The posterior will be more similar. And on the other hand, if there is no connection between U and V, the posterior distance or posterior difference will be much larger when they are connected. So this is the basic idea of this link level membership inference stack.